India T20 captain Suryakumar Yadav says that Shreyas Iyer is recovering after sustaining what has been described in various media reports as a life-threatening injury. Surya says Iyer has been replying to him on the phone and is now in a stable condition. Iyer was rushed to a Sydney hospital after his vital signs dropped due to dangerous levels following a nasty fall on the field as he attempted to take a catch during the third ODI between India and Australia on Saturday. He was admitted to the intensive care unit and scans revealed internal bleeding due to laceration of the spleen. Let's in fact listen in to what Suryakumar Yadav has stated.
अभी देखिए कैसा है कि अब हम लोग तो डॉक्टर नहीं है तो हम लोग को सिर्फ बाहर से देख के ऐसा लगता है कि जब कैच पकड़ा तो ऐसा लगा कि नॉर्मल था, बट हमने से कोई था नहीं वहाँ पे, जो लोग वहाँ थे वही बता सकते। तो उन लोग ने बताया कि अंदर जाने के बाद थोड़ा सा ऐसा लगा कि ध्यान देना पड़ेगा थोड़ा अच्छे से। देन ही वॉज रश टू द स्पेशलिस्ट और फिर उन्होंने बताया कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है। और फिर उसके बाद जब हमने बात की उनसे, फिर जब नॉर्मल बात करने लगा, फिर ऐसा लगा कि अभी थोड़ा ठीक है, क्योंकि डॉक्टर्स और फिजियोज़ ने बताया कि अनफॉर्चुनेट था जो भी हुआ। तो ऐसा कभी होता नहीं है, बहुत रेयर होता है, बट श्रेयस भी तो रेयर ही है तो रेयर टैलेंट के साथ ही रेयर होता है कभी कभी, बट ठीक है, भगवान ने साथ दिया। अभी ही इज़ रिकवरिंग रियली वेल, डॉक्टर सब साथ दे रहे हैं, BCCI इज़ इन फुल सपोर्ट, तो जल्दी रिकवर हो जाएगा और फिर साथ ही लेके जाएंगे फिर उसको घर।
That of course was Captain Suryakumar Yadav speaking on Shreyas Iyer's injury. I am being joined by Sunil Yashkalra, cricket scholar, on the broadcast. So thank you for joining us. We're of course taking a look at Suryakumar's statement, very optimistic. He seems very optimistic as he speaks about how, Shreyas Iyer seems to be recovering well. In such case of what has been described by many as a life-threatening injury, how do you view this recovery that Shreyas Iyer will now be expected to embark upon?
Well, hi. Thank you for having me on your show. As I said earlier, it has got nothing to do with a serious injury. When your elbow hits your rib cage and there is a little bit of swelling that goes on till around 72 hours, from 48 hours to 72 hours, that's the time when you have to look. If it expands, if it grows, then it's a problem. But if it comes down, then it's not a problem. As I mentioned yesterday, yes, technically he was a part of, he was in the ICU, but he was only there because operationally there was nobody else. There was the other beds were not available. That's why he was upgraded to ICU, and he wanted to have a constant touch with that. And of course, this was never a threatening injury because he came on to play. He came on to bat as well in the nets after that, and there was something fine in that. But yes, now it is a mandatory thing. Again, I'm going to tell our viewers very important thing. Any injury, anything that asks you to get out of the stadium, in the sense from the playing arena, you go back to your dressing room. It is mandatory to hold a X-ray or a medical opinion. If you don't do that, then it's not called an injury, and therefore the player is not. So there are certain SOPs, and this was a part of the SOP that he had to stay there. And incidentally, the bleeding slash there was a little bit of a problem that they detected, and they asked him to stay back, and he was happily staying back. You must also realize that there were no back-to-back matches, and as we said yesterday, it's a precautionary measure and not a medical condition that he's been shifted to ICU. Yes.
Of course, sir, but there were many concerns when people saw that his vital signs were also dropped. In such a case, there's a lot of speculation also that comes out on social media. But now we see here the captain Suryakumar Yadav, trying to speaking about how he seems to be recovering well, and they've spoken on the phone as well. What is the time frame that you see for an injury where a laceration in the spleen has been seen? What is the time frame of the recovery that you expect now? Although, as you said, it's all the necessary SOPs were being followed, and it was not necessarily something that was life-threatening as is being reported in many places.
Absolutely, it is all speculation, and people. I was surprised to find medical, cricket fans turning into medical practitioners and relating it with the Amitabh Bachchan injury which he occurred, which actually kind of occurred during the shooting of Coolie, the Coolie movie, where it was life-threatening and the blood was lost and so on. So that was a different thing. That was an object hitting his rib cage. Here it was your own hand and the elbow hitting your rib cage. That absorbs, and that's not as hard as what you are hit by an elbow, by the corner of a table in those days, wooden table. But coming back, you put a VIP patient into complete observation, considering that now the protocols are big, the standard operating procedures have to be looked into place, and I would look at him. I'm not a medical, I'm a statistician and a historian, but at the same time, I cannot hazard a guess on the comeback. But normally these injuries are back within 7 to 10 days because it's got nothing else. The vital organs, they fall down because once you go into the hospital, you stop eating, you stop doing your own stuff, and your mind starts in a very recovery kind of a phase. So I think it was the mind playing something and the body reacting to the mind. But honestly, it's a regular thing that happens into the life of a player every 6 months. They fall, they scratch, their problems, they miss out on the catch, it hits their body, the ball on the nets hits them. It's a part of a regular routine. It's like our systems, our computer systems getting hanged once in a while and go for refresh, That is the kind of thing that it is.